Greetings and salutations.
Serve a lot of jail time. So I think the
Hey guys, I'm Sam. This is
really
the
for me, it really comes down
Morning
to
Mayhem
as a society,
show.
what are we
I guess we
accepting? What are we saying is okay and
we
not
reached
okay?
a verdict in the duty trial.
And
To
me, it's really sad that you have video evidence of a woman not consenting to sex.
Two of the five charges.
The jury doesn't see that as a problem. So those are the conversations
with my daughter, and I just now realized, hey, Sherry, good morning,
brave
to you
for coming forward.
Or
her
good afternoon,
did,
wherever you are,
release a statement
wherever you may be,
with her story. And I think that this sends the caution to other people who might be engaging in similar behavior.
I'm trying to figure out what charges
careful.
he was found guilty of.
Yeah, and we are just beginning our coverage today as we're just beginning to digest everything that went down in the courtroom this morning related to the verdicts.
So I'm trying to
Combs. I want to thank all three of you for being with me. William Corman, criminal defense attorney, who was with me from the very beginning this morning, sticking on great legal analysis.
My daughter, we were hanging up security cameras.
Thank you for being with us. And of course, Elizabeth Milner, I know you're going to be on the live stream with Jesse Weber, which we'll be starting here just at the bottom of the hour. So get your questions into the chat here on YouTube. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining us here on Long.
So all I want to know is if he was found guilty of the racketeering. It sounds like that he wasn't found guilty of the sex trafficking, and because people are talking about like he's just going to get probation. If he was found guilty of the racketeering, he's not getting out. He's not getting out. So if anyone in the chat can just at least tell me what. There we go. Marilyn's on it. Marilyn is on it. Thank you so much, Marilyn. And it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. I really feel like you and I need to get together and do something. Looks like he was found guilty of 2 lesser prostitution charges, not recognized. Yeah, he's getting out. He's getting out. Those are basically misdemeanors in the federal system. And let me just give you guys an example. So this is going to blow your guys' mind. Okay. So I was found guilty of counterfeiting. I counterfeited close to almost $250,000. When the Secret Service pulled me in, I was freaking out. I was like, what the hell? I'm going to prison for the rest of my life, right? And I was on probation for my original drug trafficking charges. So I had done that big lengthy stint, right, for drug trafficking. I got the counterfeiting charge, and the only reason why I did that, and I told you guys this story before, I had a junkie girlfriend. She would always come to my tattoo shop and like get money out of my till for her pills. And finally I was like, look, you got to stop taking money out of there. Look, I don't want you to be dope sick. So I'm going to counterfeit this money for you, but you have to figure out how to pass it. Anyways, the secret, so she got busted and told on me, which I'm not mad at her for that. That's not, I guess what I'm saying is, so when the Secret Service pulled me in, they're like, well, it's under $500,000. There's the victims will, you'll pay back the victims, the restitution. It's basically considered shoplifting in the federal system. And I was like, what? And the only reason why I went back to prison for it was because I was on probation for the drug trafficking. I would have gotten just probation. So for prostitution charges, he will just get probation. I assure you. I'm sorry it took me so long to get there, but will they let him out today? He's got really good lawyers. Yeah, there's a good chance that he'll get let out to do the pre-sentence investigation. That takes about 90 days. He'll do the pre-sentence investigation. So what I'm going to do today, guys, is that when I sign off, I'm going to go to my my federal handbook, and I'm going to look up his charges. I'm going to get what the offense level is. Remember, I told you guys there's a guideline. I'm going to go to the criminal offense level, what it is, and I'm going to figure out his criminal history. And I don't know, around lunchtime, I'll be able to tell you exactly how much time he's getting. And what did I say the other night? I know you guys were like, what? No way. I was like, there's a 60-40 chance that he's going to get off. The 60% is that he's going to beat this. They couldn't prove it. It's because a jury doesn't understand trauma bonding. And I'm telling you right now, if there was 2 or 3 jurors on there that understood trauma bonding, it would have been a hung jury. It would have been a hung jury. Or we'd still be in deliberation because those 3 people would be trying to convince the other 9. I had to do some math there real quick. The other 9 of what trauma bonding is. Because listen, they listened to that recording of Cassie being a gangster, threatening to kill someone because they had a sex tape, which that doesn't make her a victim. Both can be true at the same time. And because she was trauma bonded to Diddy, and she loved him, regardless of it all. And he had her convinced that he was like this super, connected gangster. He's super rich and can buy whatever he wants, and he can buy gangsters, but Diddy himself is not a gangster. He's not a gangster. He's a predator, abuser, all the things, right? Child molester. Absolutely, he's a child molester, right? He's all the things. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it didn't work in this case. Diddy is powerful. Diddy had some good lawyers, and Marilyn, please don't think that he's powerful, because he's not. He's not. It's the case itself. It's the case itself. If he was to get brought in on tax evasion or anything like that, he'd be in prison. Look, one of the richest men around was Bernie Madoff. And but I get what you're saying, Marilyn. So he is powerful. Money can buy a lot of things, and he's very, very rich. Can money buy off a federal judge? Not really. But can a congressperson or a senator talk to a federal judge and pay off a jury? Because look, they didn't go home. They weren't sequestered. I really think this jury should have been sequestered. Now, could powerful people outside of Diddy, and I'm going to tell you where I'm getting with this, could powerful people outside of Diddy talk to a judge to make the jury be unsequestered for deliberation, and then someone pay off a jury? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't want you guys to think I'm wearing a tinfoil hat right now, but there's a lot of connections. Look, we all know Epstein is alive and well somewhere in some kind of production. There is a connection between Diddy and Epstein. And I know it sounds crazy. I know it's a big conspiracy, and how is one to believe all of that? But that's just one theory that I have. The other one is that they didn't. Where's all those other witnesses? They had over 60 witnesses on the witness list. How come they didn't use all those witnesses? And how come the defense and I said the reason why this. I'm asking this question rhetorically. How come the defense was so confident that they didn't even have to put on a case, that they felt their cross-examination during the prosecution's case was enough? It's because they understood that the jury wouldn't be able to comprehend. And I'm not saying they're dumb, but these statutes and these laws and these RICO charges are very complicated. They're very complicated, and the psychology of the victims was very complicated. And I said it's going to be hard to prosecute a freaky lifestyle. You know, if they believe it's just a freaky lifestyle, it's going to be very hard to prosecute that. Hey, John, how's it going? Hey, Catty Connie, it's good to see you. Who else is here? Sherry, Marilyn. So good to see you, Marilyn. It's been so long. James Collins Cares, good to see you. Good morning, brother. Tan Louise, good to see you. Chrissy for Cats Newton, it's good to see you. Yes. That's a very astute observation, Chrissy. It was also James Comey's daughter prosecuting him. Now, she could very easily be bought off to be light on the prosecution. Well, I mean, where are all those witnesses? Where's the Diddy list of people? Remember when this first came out? It was, Jamie Lee Foxx. Is it Jamie Lee Foxx? Whatever, Jamie Foxx. No, it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Sorry. Jamie Foxx, Ashton Kutcher, what's his name? The kid that's real famous. Shit. I just had his name. You guys know who I'm talking about. The white kid. B starts with a B. Bieber, Justin Bieber. I mean, the list can go on that all participated in these freak-offs. Look at the people that moved out of the country to avoid having to testify, to be a part of this trial. Leonardo DiCaprio. Thank you, Chrissy, for Katsun. Justin Bieber. Yes. Thank you, Marilyn. Sorry, man. I'm just now getting up. Like, I haven't even washed my face. I'm a greasy mess. The chick that I sat next to at the VH1 Awards, Ellen DeGeneres. Oh, yep. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah. Ellen, Oprah. Money can buy you freedom. We don't even need to understand J-Lo and Beyonce. Yep. We don't even need to understand the why, the where. And the reason why I say, yeah, Diddy's not powerful is because I just think he's a bitch. You know what I mean? If there was a real man, man to man, say if him and I were in a hotel room or like met in the street or in a back alley, he would cry like a bitch. Do you know what I mean? But thank you so much, honey. High five. Breakfast. He would cry like a bitch. So I'm hesitant to say that he's powerful. Because I just think he's a bitch. And, in a cell, me and him in a cell, I'd beat his ass. Hey, my other keeper, good to see you. Sherry LeBron says, comment, Sam, next thing we see is Diddy doing the next Super Bowl halftime show. Now that's a whole nother topic, right? What is his career going to look like? Sorry, guys. I don't mean to be chewing in the microphone. Yeah, it's crazy. It's super crazy. But I am gonna work up his charges, and I'll come back here in a couple of hours, and we will I will go over exactly how much time he's gonna get. I mean, I will figure it out to the month almost. And if he's below, there's a certain line, and I'll show the guidelines. There's a line that goes through it. And if you're below that line on the offense level, those are all probation worthy offenses. Now, this is the great thing about the federal system, though. Even though the judge does have guidelines, the judge can go outside of those guidelines. That they can use those guidelines just as advisory. And so she's seen the tape. She's heard all the evidence and seen all the evidence of the terrible things he's done. So even if they push for probation, even the pre-sentence investigator can come back and recommend, I recommend probation. You know, of course, the defense is going to recommend probation. The judge can still say, F you, I'm sending him away for 5 years. She can do it. She can do it. She can go up or down, all around. It doesn't matter. She can do it. So it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. Because Jay-Z runs, the Super Bowl, right? Yeah, Jay-Z is the works for the NFL. He actually books the people that do the Super Bowl. Did Clive Davis pass away? I didn't know that. Was that recent, or has that been a long time? And thank you, Christy, for cats. Hey, and Marilyn, you and I need to have a conversation off air real quick. I have some things for you that might help you in if you end up going to court. Anyways, that's all I want to say. Hey, Jojo Point 2, good to see you. Shell W, so good to see you. Yes, it's insane. Wyoming native, good to see you. It's been a long time. Let the Diddy parties begin, y'all. Yeah, right? Right? Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, it's super nuts. Yeah, I'm not necessarily blown away because I predicted it. I didn't want to say 80% chance because I didn't want to put it in the universe, but I knew it was a 60-40 chance. You just don't know who's playing around in the background. And I know a lot of people in the mainstream media will say, that's a conspiracy. No one can buy off a federal judge. No money ever got. And let's just say, because the judge really had nothing to do with the decision of the jury, and that's what they'll say. Well, the judge doesn't control the jury. Yes, but the judge knows that there's a lot of powerful things happening outside of this, and let the jury go home unsequestered during this trial. And it would be very easy for someone to buy off a juror. All they would need to do is buy off one for a hung jury, but they could buy off a few because they know those few could convince the other jurors, like, no, let's just find them guilty on these. And, you just don't know. Or maybe I don't want to say this out loud because it's I don't want to be that guy, but to play devil's advocate, maybe he's not guilty of those things, but I know he took out his ex-wife. I know he took out Brittany Murphy's husband. All three got pneumonia at a very young age and died. It's super rare for that to happen. And they had information on his whatever parties those are called, the freak offs. So he's guilty of so much more than he was even prosecuted for, right? I mean, really crimes against humanity. The beautiful thing is, though, is that, you know, he will be judged by God. And I know that doesn't make for good content. It doesn't make for a good conversation. It doesn't, because it ends the conversation, right? But he will be judged by God. But we can all play down here in the cesspool of the world and, you know, have these theories and conversate about like this and that. But in the end, while I'm down here in the world, I'm going to participate in those crazy conversations because it's too much fun. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Right when I sign off, I'm going to call you. So I don't get sidetracked and, because I am a nutcase. Hey, Jen Marie, so good to see you. Believe women, absolutely. Jen, I don't know if you heard what I was talking about, but the jury doesn't understand trauma bonding to the perpetrator. They just don't. And so much more, you know what I mean? But they just don't. And the light will illuminate the darkness. Yeah. And here's the good thing. He can still be prosecuted on other charges. They can still bring him up on new charges. They really, really want them. I assure you. And let's just say the fix isn't in and all the things, right? Comey isn't going to lay down and take this loss. She's going to send agents out. She's going to encourage agents to build a new case and get it in front of her so she can prosecute. But I think by then, Diddy's definitely moving out of the country. Definitely. He's definitely going to move out of the country. He's going to live abroad. Doesn't mean he can't be got. Doesn't mean they can't, go get him. But yeah, that's definitely going to happen. Yeah, I know. And that's where the fix is. That's where the fix could be. The jurors weren't sequestered, so they were easily could have been approached. The judge didn't let the explanation come in to tell what trauma bonding is and what all that means. It's because they don't have faith in the jurors to understand these things. And it's sad. It's sad. It really is. Yeah, he won't move to Great Britain. No, he definitely won't. He might not even be allowed to live in Great Britain because he will have these charges. Like I can't live in Great Britain. He will have these charges, so he won't even be allowed to live in Great Britain. He'll be allowed to travel, but I don't even think Great Britain lets felons in unless that has changed. Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres is definitely coming back. My goodness, Diddy's and Jay-Z's people came to silence YouTubers. Yeah, remember that? Remember that? So you don't think they would try to buy off a juror? His kids were in there. They could follow jurors home. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Hey, Ben Bacon Bits, what's going on, brother? That was a good point. Jojo point 2. They tried to buy off YouTubers. But isn't it awesome? These broke ass YouTubers, they didn't take the money. They didn't go talk to anyone. They stayed on the story. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? I am proud to be a YouTuber. I really am. I really am. I know I'm not as big as the people that were approached. There were some big people that got approached. Although I haven't heard the girl in a while, which is bizarre. Yeah. But anyway. But they went right to their channel. Guess what, y'all? I got approached by people that pretended to be like, that inferred that they were police officers, but they worked for a special client that wanted to talk to me, but if I was paid or if people are paying me. And that was the ruse. Hey, are people paying you to talk shit about Diddy? No, no one needs to pay me to talk shit about Diddy. So then but that was just the entrevue, let's say, to get to open the conversation so they can say, well, would you be willing to be paid to say the opposite? You don't think they wouldn't approach a juror? Absolutely. They bought off Ben Bacon Bits. They didn't approach him. Yes. Thank you, Chrissy. But Turtle Boy is being charged with 109 years for witness tampering for being a journalist. Yeah, he's going to beat that, though. He's going to beat that. Yep, he's going to beat that. I mean, he doesn't beat it, he'll beat it in appeal. Well, I'm like 4-0 in my predictions, though. I really am. That's why I have a legal channel, Legal Livewire Court Watch. Yeah, it's because I live, eat, sleep this stuff, and I love it, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. God has led me. Not that I'm doing anything important, but it's pretty cool, and I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to look around. Not look around. I'm sorry. I was doing two things at the same time. I'm going to get the guidelines. I'm going to I'm going to pull up his docket sheet, see exactly. I'm going to check out the minutes of the hearing so I can see everything that was said during the sentencing hearing. And I'm going to come back here in about 2 hours, and we're going to go over all of that. And I'm going to give you exactly how much time he's going to do in jail. It should be pretty amazing. But first, you know what I want to talk to you about?
Hey guys, it's Sam. Sorry to interrupt the show, but hey, can you hit that like button down below? It's absolutely free, and it really, really helps the algorithm.
But it's their verdict. They.
Welcome to the After the Bars podcast.
Yeah, so guys, just be sure to hit the like button down below. I really appreciate it. It's absolutely free, and it really, really helps the channel, and it helps me come in. Come back before he might be released. Yeah, if it looks like he's going to be released, I'm going to come right back. But I'm going to do that right now. Thanks for coming out this morning. I'm sorry I was late on the info. All you guys knew way before me, but I did want to give my 2 cents. So thank you. I will be back in a couple of hours, and then again this evening, but I will see you guys in a bit. All right. Love you guys.
Stay loud. Don't be woke. Stay wild. Stay awake.